talking flicks and pop sensations, analyzing all these strange creations, plotting reviews, fresh revelations, pull up to the world of imaginations. Scroll.
Yo, man, what's going on, good humans of the world, man? We are back with another issue of Talking Flick. I'm Headkrack.
I'm Algernon's October. Peace. What's happening?
Yo, man, the movie that's happening right now is the movie that busts through the chest of Daredevil and Wolverine. We're talking about Alien Romulus. The probably at what this point, like 8th installment of the whole Alien franchise?
Yeah, something like that. And I'm a big Alien snob, so I was looking forward to this one, and it did not disappoint. Got a few notes, but overall, good flick.
Yo, I'm a half snob as it comes to this franchise, right? So the plot is a Weyland-Yutani space probe investigates the wreckage of a USCSS Nostromo, collecting an organic object containing a xenomorph. And then, it all goes, haywire from there. And actually, that's a crappy explanation. I got that straight from the internet. How would you describe this movie?
I got you covered. As the resident Alien snob, we got it. This one takes place between Alien and aliens within the franchise timeline, and it picks up where Alien left off by showing us what happened to Ridley's space station and the xenomorph that she blew out of the airlock. It's set about 20 years after Alien and 37 years before Aliens. It stars Kaylee Spaney, who plays Rain. She's kind of the new Ripley. David Johnson, who's kind of the black android. We're going to get into that a little bit later. We got Isabella Merced. I might be saying her name wrong. She plays Kay. And then you got Eileen Wu as Navarro, who it really doesn't end well for.
To say the least. I mean, does anything ever end well for anybody really, truly in an Alien movie?
No, except for one person. One person is. Everybody else, it's a wrap.
Usually one survivor left with a lot of explaining to do when they get back to wherever they came from. You just never know what it's going to be from film to film. But, I got to say, and I feel like you can really, truly help me out here. I am a 1 foot in, 1 foot out Aliens person. But this movie actually sparked my interest in such a way where I want to go back and really, dive into all the films. Because with the first Alien movie, which came out, I believe, in 1979, I was too young to see it. And I was, I was too young to see it. And I remember having this little projector thing that they used to sell at Toys R Us, where you pop this cartridge in and you turn the thing and you get to see, frames from certain movies. So Alien, the original OG one, that was the movie to me. It's like, it's this weird thing when there's like an alien and it comes out at you. I think those clips that they'd always would put in those things wouldn't be longer than like 20, 30 seconds. So that's my all knowledge of the first Alien movie. And it wasn't until Aliens. I remember my grandmother took me to go see that on Fordham Road in the Bronx. Not at Lowe's Paradise, but the movie theater that was on that side street up Fordham Road. And there was 2 movie theaters on opposite sides. Real Bronx New Yorkers from the 80s and 90s. You know what I'm talking about. That movie changed my life. I'm like, oh my God. Like, not only am I a fan of Aliens and I'm here for whatever they do next, but they didn't put Sigourney Weaver on the map for me. However, I skipped Aliens 3.
Good movie. I liked Aliens 3. It wasn't terrible. I wasn't a big fan of Aliens 4. And actually, as we talk about the movie a little bit more, there's some throwbacks that they kind of did that they were Alien 4-ish. I always liked the first half, or I should say the first 3/4 of Alien 4. And then I usually kind of let the last part of it go. I should say the last act, because they kind of got into the humanoid baby type situation, which is similar to what they did in this particular film. And didn't like that. I didn't like the mashup, but
okay. Help me out real quick. Alien 4 was
Resurrection. That's Alien 4 was Resurrection. That's when, and it's they basically you get Ripley. She's on another ship or whatever. But so you didn't watch 3. So
I think I could puzzle pieces together. Allegedly,
you got to kind of know some other things. But I mean,
allegedly Ripley dies in 3. Right?
Correct. She dies in 3, and then in 4 they kind of take, they re-engineer her from the remnants that they have there, and she's kind of there's a version of Ripley that's in Alien 4 that's on a ship with a whole new group of people and a whole nother thing. They've been experimenting on different ones, and obviously it all gets ugly. Things start to go down, but then there's a big old twist because the queen in that one ends up having kind of a kid, and when I say queen, I mean Queen Alien. She ends up having a kid or whatever, and it's just kind of humanoid mashup or whatever. I personally didn't like it, but some people got into it. And in this one, as you see, they kind of did the same thing. That's one of my kind of nitpicky aspects of this one. I felt like this movie was great up until that point because I felt like they had done that before. And so I didn't feel the need that they should have rehashed that again. And I'm not a fan of that angle. It's just me. Everyone else can love it. I just wasn't a big fan of that angle. Other than that, it was great. But that was basically Alien 4. So tune in when you get a chance.
I get it now because I remember not watching Alien 3 because I think I heard in advance what happens to Ripley. And when I saw that she was back for 4, I was like, no, that's stupid. And I'm not watching it. I was very opinionated as a child. And do we consider the Alien versus Predator films a part of the canon of the overall Alien storyline?
I look at them, in my opinion, I look at them as spinoffs with that or whatever. To me, it's Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, Alien Resurrection, and then this one that just came out. Those are to me the core, the core ones in terms of that. But then you've also got Prometheus and Alien Covenant, which are kind of your prequels. I do consider those part of canon. Wasn't the biggest fan of Alien Covenant. I like Prometheus after like 900 watches. I finally understood it. I ain't gonna lie. I had to watch that movie for like a year to finally go, oh, and a whole bunch of YouTube videos to go, okay, I think I finally get what you're doing. Now I dig it. Didn't like Covenant as much, but when I look at Alien versus Predator, to me, those are your spinoffs in terms of that. They don't really tie into much in terms of the original lore. You know, they don't mention Ripley or engineers or anything like that. It's more so the battle between, you know, the aliens and then the xenomorph. I mean, sorry, the alien and the xenomorph. So no, I consider those more spinoffs. But as someone who is like a big, you know, snob, you know, I saw the original Alien in theaters with my mom when I was young. That's right. Kid of the 80s, baby. Okay. A good time, a fun time. So, and I also saw Aliens in the theater like yourself. And I was like the best. Still to this day, that's my favorite Aliens movie is Aliens. Hands down, that's my absolute favorite. But I'm highly critical about what they've done with the franchise. Like we talked about, they had a few of the spinoffs that happened, you know, in terms of Prometheus and Covenant. But after watching the trailers for Romulus, I got excited because I felt like they were taking it back to its roots, which is horror. You know, Alien at its core isn't like an adventure action movie like Aliens. The original was more of a slow burn horror film that kind of peeled back the layers, but amped up the tension scene by scene. So after watching, you know, the other films that came after that, I really kind of appreciated them bringing this back to the table. So I felt like Fetty and his team did a fantastic job of giving me that horror Aliens that was reminiscent of the first one.
And what I love about this for Alien people, right? Not like people from space, literally, but people who are interested in the franchise and may not be 1,000% invested, which is kind of the space I feel like I come in on. Yeah. You could just dive right into this movie. There's a lot of Easter eggs and fan service there for you if you are familiar with the whole gamut. Because, like, you know, as you was talking about some of those different sequels, I remember watching Covenant. I don't remember it, though. I know I definitely saw Prometheus, and I immediately understood everything that was happening and what it represented. And it was weird how I was able to pick that up, not being 1,000% invested in everything and not having seen the first movie and everything you said about the original one. I do remember feeling like, I don't know, the force was strong with me where I felt like this movie's going to be slow. This isn't the same as Aliens. Don't break your neck to go see this. Or back when you had to really like spend good money to rent a VHS tape, you know, back in the days, or a DVD. I just didn't want to waste my money. But now this new movie, Romulus, has put me in a space where I do want to start from square one. Or maybe,
and you should.
Or maybe even, should. But maybe even we have the advantage now, better more so than people in the 80s and 90s, to where we could legit start with Prometheus and watch that as the first movie in the overall franchise and then go Alien. Then, because I think Romulus falls third technically because it's after Alien but before Aliens. So yeah, we got some work cut out for us, man. For real, for real.
I think it's dope because I think that people, if they kind of go back to Alien and then kind of, you know, watch Romulus again and then go to Aliens, you'll see it all connects. Like, it was really impressive that Fetty was able to preserve kind of the aesthetic of the original Aliens movie, but still add more of an up close view of what it feels like to really be chased by one of those face huggers and xenomorphs overall. Like in the past, we would see like the face hugger latch onto someone, but in Romulus, you get a chance to get the whole gory display of how the long tube goes down the throat, and which I ain't gonna lie, that traumatized the hell out of me. I was just like, oh, and then when it was coming out the chest and everything like that, it's just like, yeah, they took some time, but it's body horror, right? And I mean, again, I'm a bit of an Alien snob, but as I said, the only thing I did not like about this new film was the alien humanoid aspect of it. Other than that, we talking about one of the dopest anti-gravity scenes you've ever seen in a movie. All of that he did with that anti-grav. I'm not even going to go into full detail, but I just got to say what they did in that scene was amazing. It was worth the price of admission right there. Like that scene in itself was just crazy. I was just like, more of that. That's when I was like, Fetty, you were doing your thing. We had the right team in place to bring that to the table. To me, that was like one of the best scenes in the whole movie.
And I definitely love the component of how that didn't necessarily play out how you thought it was going to play out. At least for me, there were certain things I was expecting to happen, and it didn't happen. And I'm like, okay, good. You didn't give me what I was expecting with the anti-gravity scene, but it still played a major plot point, you know, where it needed to. So that was definitely solid. So, man, and I also got to tip my hat to the actor who played Andy in this movie, who's you know, a newcomer for a lot of people because he's a British actor. His name is David Johnson. And he's the black android on this one. And when you see the things that he has to go through as a character, and I'm talking about the actor, right? Not the necessarily the droid, but the actor, the things he had to go through as a character was amazing. You know, I definitely hope he gets nominated for Best Supporting Actor when it's time to talk that talk during award season.
Absolutely. He did a great job because he had to kind of toggle between a couple different things. And he had to really display of a lot of emotions. Because I ain't gonna lie, I didn't know where they was going with the android angle at first. I was just kind of looking around like, okay, what are we doing with this? And I'm sorry, you know, I was looking at it even from racial standpoints, from social standpoints. I'm just like, okay, why y'all got the brother acting? You know, what's going on? But then when he got his little upgrades and everything like that and started doing his thing, I was like, okay. But initially, I was a little skeptical about that character. Like, what are we doing?
Sometimes as a person of color, it is hard to just sit back and enjoy films because you're like, yo, what you about to do to my man? You know what I mean? Or like, hey, don't let him die first. You know,
We
those
take
type
it
of things.
first.
We have all types of film PTSD as it relates to black people in films. And yeah, I felt every feeling that you just expressed. I felt that as well, man. But I mean, altogether, pretty good storytelling. I definitely see where you're coming from with the retreading similar waters with some of the other, you know, sequels and prequels. And I think sometimes these new movies do that sometimes because, like, hey, we want to give some fan service there to people who was there for the original laps, but we also want to hook the younger generation in with something that they already did that was great, but we're just adding some stuff on top of it. I think we also felt that in Beverly Hills Cop, Axel Foley.
Yeah. I got you.
Which is
Yeah,
almost like
they rehashed some
a
things.
older dude's copy and paste of it's literally Beverly Hills Cop 1 all over again. It really
It really
is.
is. It
When you
really
think
is.
about it.
It just set in the new in the more modern era and just pretty much the same jokes, the same characters. I agree. I enjoyed Beverly Hills Cop though. It was
Me
great.
too.
It was a
Me
fun
too.
ride.
You know, sometimes I think, you know, we want that nostalgia. It feels like that old blanket or your favorite hat from back in the day. And even though you might have got a newer version of that hat, it still has some of the charms, but it's just a newer, fresher hat. Maybe they improved the brim. The stitching's better a little bit more, you know. But then sometimes, no, this is a cheap hat. Shit says Timu. You know, you just don't know what it's gonna be until you like actually spend your hard-earned money. You know.
No, I get it, but yeah, I'm kind of with you. I enjoyed the movie overall, except for my little nitpicks. The practical effects were really good. The creatures look really authentic, and that's because they didn't use as much CGI, which I was like, mwah, chef's kiss. Every camera angle was really amazing. Like when you sit back, the shots were amazing that they did in terms of when they were on the ship, when they were doing different things. I mean, every shot was really incredible. So you could really tell Fetty and his team really studied the first two movies and made sure that every scene fit perfectly into the world we were used to seeing. So very impressed with what he did. I'm not surprised though. I loved his work in Don't Breathe. I loved his work in Evil Dead 2013. So he's definitely the right guy to kind of get it done right now. And I thought that the overall premise of how the alien even came to be in terms of how they found it and everything like that, in terms of bringing back the original alien to basically help them re-engineering the original alien, and then having that kind of be the nexus or the nucleus of what happened in terms of the new film. So it was really good. I liked the angle. I liked the concept that they brought to the table. I thought it was a really good film, worth the anticipation we had, worth going to the escape room that we had. I think it was just great. It was a good film. I enjoyed the ride.
No doubt. And if you missed that adventure, man, we're going to throw it in as some B-roll at the end of the episode. So at the end of the day, be sure you check out Alien Romulus. Be on the lookout not only for like the cool popcorn tins, but also like, the Alien Xenomorph Funkos that they got out there. And man, just, go to the movie theater, remove your brain, and enjoy a good film.
Very good film.
Cinema is back, baby. You know what I mean? And we talking about it, man. So that's it for this edition of Talking Flick. I'm about to bust through this guy's chest like an alien.
That's right. That's our third member out there. He said he enjoyed the film too. Let's go. Talking Flick.
No, he would have been scared to walk in the theater based on the trailer. They not like us.
One day. Like
One day, man.
We some 80s kids. We went to the movies at his age.
Asking for the trauma. You know what I mean? There it is, man. We Talking Flick, man. Check this out.
Yeah, I'm all about a good time. And Alien Romulus is shaping up to be a good time in the movie theaters, man. Shout out to Allied Marketing, man. They invited us out to Netherworlds for a unique, one-of-a-kind experience, escape room style, in conjunction with the movie. Now, we got out of there by the skin of our teeth with only like 27 seconds left to get out.
Oh man, it was absolutely fantastic. If you have an opportunity to come out here, check it out. It's definitely for people who love escape rooms, and I just did one for the first time. It was amazing.
There was points where you're going to jump out, you're going to get scared and all that good stuff, but the main thing you need to know, Alien Romulus drops August 16th. Be sure you check that out. It's directed by Fede Alvarez. He did Evil Dead, the joint that came out 2013. You saw that one?
You know I saw that, man.
I didn't see that one. Now I want to see it more, and I'm even more hyped for the movie. Be sure you see it, yo.
Check it out.